Have you listened to much early Keith Jarrett? I'm Ron Rodos from keyboardimprov.com, and welcome to our journey through the real book number 83. And we're going to explore some early Keith Jarrett. And most people, when you think of early Keith Jarrett, you might think of the Cone concert, which is his sort of breakthrough recording. It was a live solo piano concert from the early 70s. But early Keith Jarrett goes back farther than that. Partly with his stuff with Art Blakey, if you haven't heard that, but also Days and Nights Waiting, which was Charles Lloyd. The Charles Lloyd Quartet. It's funny too. I just got into the Charles Lloyd Quartet. I'd heard them, some of the early recordings, but I didn't really, look at all the personnel. I knew Jack DeJohnette played drums, but Ron McClure on bass, and I played a gig with Ron McClure once at the Blue Note in New York, with Giacomo Gates, the jazz vocalist, and Ron McClure was on bass. And I'm really glad I didn't know that he had played with Keith Jarrett at the time. I might have gotten pretty nervous, but we had a great time. But I'm glad I didn't know that one. In any case, Ron McClure on bass, Charles Lloyd, great tenor sax player. And a lot of times we lump people together. We think, oh, early Keith Jarrett's like this, Charles Lloyd sounds like this, but they each have something to express. Charles Lloyd is not just another sax player in the mold of Coltrane or 60s, whatever. Unique sound, very unique sound. And the thing about early Keith Jarrett is that his playing might not have been as polished as it is now, or refined, or maybe he wasn't even playing what he really wanted to express. I know from interviews that he says his playing's gotten a lot better over the years, and I would agree with that. But at the same time, he had something he wanted to express. And early Keith Jarrett has a quality that's not even there anymore often, I think, because we evolve and we change. There's something very special about that, sort of like early Miles Davis has a sweetness that wasn't always there in his later playing. So Days and Nights Waiting is a Latin tune, sort of in the, samba kind of mode. And on the recording, they play it out of tempo through, I think it was the whole thing. I don't always do that. I don't know, maybe I'll start out of tempo for the first A section or two. I don't know, maybe I'll keep doing it during the bridge if it feels like it wants to go there. But then I'll go into tempo at some point and play it kind of like with a two feel, 2 slow beats per measure, like a samba. All right, let's see how it goes. But Charles Lloyd added something that's not here. So I don't know if it's in the original sheet music or not that Keith Jarrett wrote out. But there's an ascending line. He doesn't just start on D. He goes, does it consistently. There's da, 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 da. Beautiful. So I'm going to start with that. Here we go. so something happened really interesting when I was playing that. What I thought about, and I wanted to share it with you because it's the way we usually think and what we need to get over. So when I was improvising during the solo, I left out one of the A sections. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Probably not, because we just listen, we don't always analyze. But I left out the second A section in one of the choruses. And my first thought was, oh no, it's not perfect, quote unquote. So I'll have to redo it. I usually don't redo these. I just sort of do them once, maybe twice. But most of them are just first takes. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that because Keith Jarrett doesn't do that. Keith Jarrett leaves the mistakes on. And there's a famous version of Olio that there's a printed transcription. And I remember looking at the video from a live concert. And you know what? Let's see. I think it's actually, yeah, it's one of the videos he released. It's not just like a bootleg video. It's something that he officially released. It's a nice quality video from a concert. And he left out one of the A sections. And it's in the transcription. He left out the A section. I said, okay, Keith Jarrett's not perfect. So if he doesn't have to be perfect, we don't have to be perfect either. And in fact, once we let go of that compulsion to be note perfect like this, our universe expands and we can really express something without the fear of what's going to happen if I mess up a little bit, right? So not a perfect recording, but in other ways, a perfect recording maybe. So it's a wonderful tune. Check it out. I love how it goes from different key centers. It starts out in B flat, and then the rest of the phrase is in D. Great tune. Have fun playing this. Check me out at keyboardimprov.com if you're interested in piano lessons. Love to help you out any way I can. I do Skype, and also you can work your way through my jazz video course. It has rock and pop and everything too. But about 370 lessons at this point. Take you step by step from point A to point B. Go through any 20, 30 of those. You're going to be a whole different player, and I'll help you out with personal guidance too. So thanks for being here. Next video will be Dear Old Stockholm. Wonderful traditional folk tune that Miles Davis did. See you then.